So I decided to explain my biopsychosocial model in just regards to health, and then focusing more on how those things affect, like a cold or the flu is what I'm going to focus on. So biopsychosocial includes biology, psychology, and social realms of life, and how they all play into certain occasions. So in biology, for just pertaining to health, things like gender, immune function, genetic vulnerability, stress reactivity, and medication effects play a role. And then going to social, you have social support, socioeconomic, economic status, family background, and cultural traditions. And then going on to psychology, there's attitudes, personality, behavior, emotion, coping skills, and past experiences. So, in applying this to something like having the flu, certain things like your immune function. Basically, people are born with a certain amount of immunity to certain things, and you can either build that or let it go. So, based on how you grew up and how your body is set up, you might be more susceptible to certain illnesses, such as the flu. Also, your genes may be set up so that you are less immune or more vulnerable to being sick, more prone to being sick. And then also the way in which you can deal with stress also affects allowing yourself to get sick. So if you're just born with the genes to be able to deal with it, then you probably won't get sick as much. But stress, especially if you're prone to it, can increase the likelihood of getting ill. And then also the way in which medication works with your body. The flu, you basically just have to let it run its course, but in different aspects, the medications and how your body reacts to it can affect that. And then going down to the social side of it, so maybe when you're sick, your family lets you be, or your mom or dad really babies you and helps you get better. That also can play a role in helping you get better, or making you at least feel somewhat better through something like the flu. Economic status, do you have the money to go get checked out and see if you do have the flu? And if you don't, then you kind of just have to play it by ear. Family background, so just the way your family deals with things like this, be it the flu or the cold or something more serious. And then cultural traditions, I know that there are some religions and cultural traditions that don't allow for like seeing doctors or taking medicine, so then you might need to look at a alternative medicine approach, so that can play a role. And then psychology, how are you going to have a good attitude about it, or are you just going to let it ruin your day? I know it's a crappy thing to go through having the flu, but you can choose to let it defeat you or just push through it, and that also plays into your personality, what type of person you are to be able to get through something as minor as the flu or as big as a chronic illness. And then your behaviors and emotions kind of wrap into your personality and attitude. How are you going to deal with it, and are you going to try to be have an uplifting spirit, or let it really bring you down? And that can also play into the way that this illness can stay. If you kind of give up and let it just get at you, then you might be sick longer with it, just because you've kind of given up the fight, even though it's a small illness. And then coping skills kind of play in with stress reactivity. So if you're able to deal with stress well, then your coping skills are probably very good, and which can help you prevent from getting sick. And also just being mindful about how to prevent getting sick, and kind of wraps into your past experience. If you were sick before, you know kind of the precautions to take, and how to get through it. What makes you feel better. If you're feeling nauseous, you know what kind of food to eat and what not to eat. All those different kinds of things. So basically, your health in a biopsychosocial model, all things overlap, and intertwine. So basically they all play off of one another. It kind of just is about how you came up, how your body is, how you were born, and how you're willing to deal with a certain illness like the flu. So that is my biopsychosocial model for having the flu.